My name is Melody Schumacher, and I'm with Third Act. Today is Monday, the 26th of January, and I'm here with Pat Ravasio, former mayor and current council member of Corte Madera. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, I am Pat Ravasio. I am a current town council member in Corte Madera. I was mayor last year. It was a lot of fun. And we got some important things done, and I think this was one of them.
You passed Make Polluters Pay resolution on October 21st. It was the first one in Marin to do so. What actions do you think really helped the town of Corte Madera to pass?
Well, I think Corte Madera was able to pass this quickly. It came about at our first meeting, and it was because that council members know our constituents, and we know that they are aware that sea levels are rising, that wildfires are happening more frequently, and that climate change, as the scientists describe, is an actual and real thing. So we knew we had the community support on this one.
Did you hear specifically from constituents, or is there something that brings to the top very real concerns at Corte Madera?
Well, actually, I think what I've seen really indicates that now is the time, because it was just 4 years ago that the town had proposed to raise some of the berms out on Mariner Cove to help keep the seas out. And the residents opposed it back then. They even signed a petition. There were like 500 signatures on a petition saying they did not want the town to do this work for fear that it would affect property values. And so we pulled out, and we didn't get the funding under the Biden administration. And now, 3 weeks ago, we had the king tides mixed with the huge rains and the big flooding. And now the residents are saying, let's build those berms. Let's prepare for the changing climate. So I think our town is really awake now and ready to do something. And that's why it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer to support this. And I think we had a 5-0. Did we get a 5-0?
We had 4-1.
4-1. There's always one.
Well, to continue on that, the Make Polluters Pay are funds that you would apply for and use for climate change disasters. What would the town of Corte Madera use them for?
Well, perhaps for the flooding that just occurred. But more importantly, what this bill does, in my mind, is brings justice into the environmental equation, because we don't often see new fracking or new drilling in places like Belvedere or Tiburon. They happen where there's no money and no voice, and the people there are subject to all the pollution, from fracking, from refining, from whatever it might be. So these funds will help those neighborhoods rectify the damage that the fossil fuel industry has done. At least that's what I'm hoping it'll do.
Well, what is your advice to legislatures when they go to vote on this bill? What should they be considering in their vote?
I think they should be considering that this is a rare opportunity to pass something truly significant that will reinstate California's leadership as an environmental vanguard. And I think that to not do it would be foolish, because right now the federal government's got so much going on, they can't watch everything. So it's a great time now to do it, get it done, get it rolling. It's a no-brainer.
When it's up for a vote for these legislatures, if there is a phrase that you would like them to remember or think, what is something that you would shout out to them?
Well, I think the name of the bill says it all. I think Make Polluters Pay. For me, it's like, finally, at long last. It took a long time for the society and our culture to come around to understanding this. And we're now, I understand it, like 70 to 80% of people realize that climate change is a scientific reality and that we have to do something about it if we hope to change it and correct it. So you've got, the legislature should know the people are with them. We have 80% of people saying, do something now.
What most excites you about the passage of the Climate Superfund? What's the most exciting thing?
I think the most exciting thing is the power of momentum, because I feel like once this gets started, it will just continue to grow, and we'll eventually invest greater subsidies in clean energy than we do in fossil fuels. We still, I just read, it was $1.7 trillion that is still invested to help the fossil fuel industry pollute the planet. And we spend way less than that to develop clean energy. And if we could just swap those just like that. And if women were running the world, that's what would happen. If we women were running the world, you and I. If you want to understand how this all came about and how we ended up in the grips of an evildoer named the fossil fuel industry, you should read my book. It is about the wisdom of Buckminster Fuller, who Steve Jobs called the Leonardo da Vinci of the 20th century.
What do you think was the motivation or the action that moved the town council to approve it?
Well, I think it's that Corte Madera is about 1/3 in the wildland urban interface area and 2/3 in a flood zone. So we kind of got it coming both ways, fire and floods. And I think our people are really ready to do something about it. It took a while, but they are aware and awake now and understand that this climate crisis is a real thing.